Greetings, everyone. My name is Dr. Griffin, and I stand before you on behalf of the Westside NAACP, where I am a member, under the auspices of President Carl Brinson, who is unable to attend today due to the NAACP's 115th National Convention that's being held now in Las Vegas. So rest assured, at this convention, conversation about reparation will definitely have a seat at the table. James Weldon Johnson was a civil rights activist and field director for the NAACP who coined the term Red Summer. Due to more than 36 racial riots, massacres that ensued all over the United States, beginning in 1919 that we heard earlier, World War I intensified the Great Migration, the mass immigration, Black Americans for the rural South to the industrial North and Midwest in hopes of escaping poverty and discrimination of Jim Crow laws. By the summer of 1919, approximately 500,000 Black Americans had resettled in northern cities. Sadly, northern whites did not welcome Black newcomers. Most violent incidents during the Red Summer of 1919 were not initiated by fringe white supremacist terror groups. Ordinary white civilians and veterans unaffiliated with the KKKs or any other racist organization formed most of the mobs. Local, state, and federal officials hesitated in taking action or turned a blind eye to the violence. Racial violence broke out in some of the nation's populous cities. The riots in Chicago and Washington, D.C. stood out both for their high death tolls and because Black Americans rose up to fight back against the violence perpetrated against them. Rewind. Let's look at Chicago on July 27, 1919, which you heard about. A white police officer refused to make an arrest in the murder of a Black teenager that led to violence in the city that lasted almost a week. At least 38 people were killed and thousands of Black homes were looted and damaged during Red Summer. A few more decades to 1966 in Chicago, Illinois uprising, known as the West Side Riot, began on July 12th after police and Black American youth clashed over the youth opening fire hydrants and playing in the water. At this time, I think about myself. Where was I? I was about 9 years old when I lived. I'm a West Side girl, so I'm wondering. I know my brothers, they used to turn on the hydrants at the time, so who knows? I could have been out during this time. That's the way we had fun. Blacks complained that the police were singling them out, while in the nearby Italian neighborhood, police did not interfere with open fire hydrants. An ex-convict named William Young attempted to open a fire hydrant. Unfortunately, he was chased by 2 white police officers. An angry crowd surrounded the officers and demanded that they release Young. The violence escalated, and by the end of the evening, 24 Black youth were arrested. Many were injured, to include police officers. This riot became so severe, on day 3 of the riot, 6 police officers were shot. By midnight, 118 people had been arrested. The next day, Mayor Daley contacted the governor, who sent for the National Guards. Was the city of Chicago safer? No. 30 people were reported injured, 6 firemen, 6 policemen, a 14-year-old pregnant girl, and a 28-year-old man were killed by stray bullets. 200 people were arrested in one night. Total arrested were 244. It would be the presence and voice of Dr. King to calm the city of Chicago. These are some issues that we're dealing with presently today. Therefore, all groups must work collaboratively and demand a seat at the table to continue the fight for civil rights, social justice, and reparations. Key concerns in the upcoming presidential election. Thank you.